Hello everybody, it's your friendly supervisor, and today we are going to talk about the holidays. And I thought it was important that I shoot this video just so we're all on the same page when it comes to expectations and requirements for the upcoming holiday season. Now, we have already gotten through Memorial Day and 4th of July, so now we have a bit of a break before we start Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and New Year's Day. And then it will be time for Holiday Sign Up 2024. So, to begin with, there are 5 after-hours clinic locations that are open during the holidays. And that is Far West, Cedar Park, Round Rock, then we have Southwest, and we have Kyle Plum Creek. You will train at one of these 5 locations, and you will do your holiday shift at one of these 5 locations. Everyone at ARC is obligated to do one holiday for 2023 if they are a full-time employee. That means lab is doing it, X-ray, RNs, LVNs, MAs, business office, phones, triage nurses, everybody. After hours appointments, everybody does one holiday. For 2024, if you are PRN, you will also have to do one holiday. So if you become PRN during 2023, in 2024, I'm sorry, you will have to do a holiday. Now, none of this should come as a surprise to you. If I interviewed you and hired you for the float pool, I flat out tell you in my interview process that full-time employees are expected to work one holiday. So I made this humanity module and I attached the HR policy to it so you can review that at your leisure. Pay special attention to points 12 and 13. 12 talks about your training being paid. 13 talks about the disciplinary action if you don't complete your holiday. I just want to let you know that the holiday committee does not play around. They follow the holiday rule book to a T. They work very hard putting this all together for us every year, and it's more than fair what they've come up with. Even providers have to work a holiday. So, that being said, if you do not sign up for a holiday, it will be auto-assigned. So I recommend that you empower yourselves and sign up for a holiday. Now, you don't have to do this at work. You can actually do it at home. And I attached a little visual guide here, and I'll just hold it up when you log in to shiftboard.com. You will hover over the login, put a little green box around that on my example there, and then you go to Schedule Flex, and that's where the one that you use to log in from home is the Schedule Flex. Also, in this humanity module, I attached examples of an email that you will get from the manager and supervisor that is in charge of the after hours clinic for that particular holiday. In that email, they have a checklist of everything that's expected of you. Most of the important things to note are that food is not provided. Make sure you bring a snack. That goes for training as well. You probably are going to go from your assigned location during the day to an after hours location for training. There may not be time because of traffic and whatever else for you to get food. So make sure you pack an extra lunch that day because no one wants you training and hangry at the same time. Another thing is in that example email that you would get when it's time for your holiday, they also attach a calendar to that, and it lists on there the times available for training. I recommend you review that. You are responsible for arranging your training. It's not me. So when the weekly schedule comes out for the float pool, make sure that you can get to your training location or contact us and make arrangements so we can assign you to a clinic closer to your assigned holiday clinic that day so we can get it all on the same page. Again, that is your responsibility to complete that training before your holiday shift. If you don't complete that training, it will be a disciplinary action from the holiday committee. And they, like I said, do not play around. If you don't work your holiday, if you don't train, it is not a verbal warning. It is a first level written warning. So if you've already received a first level written warning from me, then you will get a second level written warning. And if you have a second level written warning, this could result in a termination. Don't be the bad example and just protect yourselves, do what you're supposed to do. And it's very simple if you follow the checklist in that was provided in the email. I also attached examples of a clinical skills holiday checklist. This one is truly just an example. I looked at the information in there and it seems to be very specific to Round Rock. That doesn't mean things won't change, but the questions on that checklist are things you should know, whether it be Far West, Cedar Park, Southwest, or Kyle, that you are going to do your holiday shift at. So go ahead and print that out, take that with you, make sure you take notes and that all those questions are answered to make things go a lot smoother. Now, the clinical checklist that I attached to the humanity module is fairly universal. Obviously, the location of the crash cart is going to change, depending on where you are, but that's just common sense. You do need to get all those skills checked off. Being that you work in the float pool, you have probably worked at one of the after hours clinic locations before, so you may be able to spend less time for clinic navigation as far as finding the supply room and the crash cart and other various things on that checklist. But that checklist takes around an hour to fill out. Now, in the training email, it says 2 hours. It really depends on the individual. Once you train, you feel you need more training, they can always provide you with that. They also expect you to room patients, so make sure that you are wearing your scrubs that day. You are wearing your name badge. I've had people show up in t-shirt and leggings. Do not do that. You are having patient interaction that day. Same thing goes with business office. You wear your assigned uniform and name badge. Please be respectful of your trainers. Oftentimes, the management of after hours may not have communicated to the clinical staff or business office staff that they were training someone that day due to call outs and things like that. Things are very flexible in after hours as far as who is doing what when. Take notes, like I said, be respectful. The quicker you can get those skills checked off, the sooner you get to go home. So if you have not already signed up for Holiday, you can, like I said, do that at home at shiftboard.com. There's also an iLearn module that Learning and Development puts on your iLearn, and that is to be also completed before your holiday. Your login for Shiftboard is your ARC email address. Your password is whatever you choose with IT. If you are at work and you have any questions about your holiday, or you have time to sign in for your holiday, there are two places to find it, and I attached this visual aid to the Humanity module. So there is a top option here where it says Shiftboard. I put a red box around that one. Then there is also a option at the bottom, and it says Shiftboard. And this is the better option, because if you click on this one, will pop up a calendar about what clinics are participating in what holiday. Plus there will be reference guides on how to use Shiftboard. And one of them is the Shiftboard Quick Reference Guide. It looks like this. And in there, it says that your login or your username is your ARC email address. And it says supervisor for password. That is not this supervisor. I don't know who that applies to, but you need to contact IT for all your password things. You can contact IT at one of the 3 numbers listed here. You will also need to know how to use a pager. The IT pager, if you haven't used a pager, just ask somebody who was a teenager in the 90s, or pull up a YouTube video, or I can help you. I've used a pager, and just about every doctor has used a pager at some point in their career. A little bit outdated technology, but they still exist. So when you log into the Shiftboard home screen, I also included that example of what it will look like, and it does say on there, contact IT for password resets. All right, we're going to talk a bit about professionalism for your holiday. We already talked about wearing scrubs. Don't show up for training wearing a t-shirt and leggings from the gym. Wear your scrubs, always a safe bet. That goes for business office as well. Wear your name badge. I even attached a name badge order form to this Humanity module, so you don't need to search CMS Web to make sure that you have your name badge that day. Nowhere in all this information that I attached onto this Humanity module does it say that you need to be nice for your holiday and be kind. But wouldn't it be great? Those managers and supervisors that day are also a guest in ARC's house. They did training just like you did. They have the one holiday obligation just like you do. And everyone has something better to do on a holiday, even if it's take a nap. So it's best to put a good foot forward. And like I said, you are a guest in ARC's after hours house. And being from the float pool, you are professional house guests. You know how to go out to so many different areas and immerse yourself into their staff and work with their providers. And so this should be a no-brainer for you. And granted, I know most of you have worked an 8-hour day, but you're not going to be training for another 4 hours. And you just make the best of it, get through it, take notes, be respectful. Don't be the bad house guest. Please don't be the bad house guest. that freeloads on the couch and eats all the food out of the fridge and shows up with a chip on their shoulder. You know, most of you have worked at a variety of clinics, but I don't think there's a single one of you that has worked at every clinic, and certainly not with every manager, not with every supervisor, not with every provider that you are going to work with on that holiday. And they will remember if you were easy to work with or not easy to work with. And you do not know where your career is going to take you at ARC. And those managers and supervisors and providers talk. There may be a time in your life where you won't be able to work a daytime shift 8 to 5, and you'll need to work after hours or want to work after hours. And they will remember the way you presented yourself for that day. So please keep that in mind. If you have any complaints, those all go to the holiday committee at Pound Holiday Committee or Pound Holiday Committee at austinregionalclinic.com. Also, conduct yourself in a professional manner in those emails. Like I said previously, they worked very hard on the holidays to make it extremely fair. And if you have any suggestions for them, make sure complaints, make sure you offer some constructive feedback as well, how you think it would be better. They do look at all of those emails and take everything into consideration when building the next year's sign up. So things are constantly changing. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. I'm sorry this video took about 15 minutes, but it was a lot of information to get through. And remember, you are ultimately responsible for your holiday shift. From signing up for one, to training for one, to showing up for one, and conducting yourself professionally. Take care. Bye.